Hello guys, it's Peter from PS Sound, and in this short video we are going to talk about my favorite topic, which is the mid bass. Many people know that I'm really fussed about clean, accurate, tight mid bass, and you will see later on in the video that we had an interesting way to potentially record something that should come through the video recording, and you should be able to hear as well the difference between a mid bass that's installed in the door and a mid bass that's installed in a small little enclosure. Before we jump into the video, I would like to I'm not going to apologize. Many of you know that I'm really busy, and I know the channel has been left behind and it's been quiet, but there's a lot coming. There's a lot coming now in the upcoming weeks till Christmas. I will try my best to share as much as I can. You will be entertained, I can guarantee that, because we had many projects in the last few months. And the main reason why you couldn't see much from me is because many of you know I had a big trip to the USA. I was there for 3 weeks. I was in San Jose. We had a masterclass over there doing the system design and tuning masterclass. Then I went down to Vegas. I was there for a couple of days. We had a meeting over there as well. And then I went to the American finals. I was there for a few days too. So that was busy. As soon as I came back, we had a couple of days. I literally got off the plane, went straight to the workshop. We had so much work, and then we had the EMA UK finals. Then 2 weeks after that, we had the German EMA and IA finals. I was there too. And it's just been crazy to deal with all the projects with the business, as well as running Patreon. I have many people I do consultation with, and so many projects I'm planning for the future that it's difficult to keep up. But I promise that I'm gonna bring so much content in the upcoming month that you will love it. Also, it's worth mentioning, because many people don't know, I always get messages that, Pete, where do you find music from? And these days it's difficult for me as well to download anything. That's why I'm a Tidal user. I know many people don't like Tidal, many people don't like keyboards, many people don't like Apple or Amazon Music. There are so many different platforms, but if you're a Tidal user, then now, I think they changed it a few months ago. Now you can search for profiles, which is amazing. So now if you type in PS Sound as one word, PS Sound, and where you see on the top, you see artist, track, album, scroll all the way to the right, and then you will see profile right at the end. Click on that, you will see PS Sound. Click on that and you will see dozens of playlists from me, where you will have PS Sound demo lists, not just 1, 2, 3 that most people have, or maybe the 4. I'm already working on number 6, and as soon as I add a track to a list, and if you save it into your own playlist, then it keeps it updated on your side as well. But I have many different genres that you can check out, and there's so much music that you can find instantly. So 100% search for PS Sound on Tidal profile, and you can find a lot of music. Also, it's worth mentioning, I mentioned earlier that I have the Patreon channel, and that's where people can really follow what we are doing, because that's where I don't have to sit down, edit videos. Even if it doesn't take much, even like for this video I'm sharing with you guys now, it's going to take me probably half an hour to chop together, upload from the phone. Then I have to upload it to YouTube. So overall, it takes more than an hour, and I hardly ever have that to sit down in the office, to sit here. Many people on Patreon that usually I have time to take a video in my own car. That's my office usually. That's where I have uninterrupted time. And if you want to learn about car audio, about sound quality, especially like competition level audio, then definitely check out description. I always put the link in for our PS Sound Patreon channel, where we share a hell of a lot of stuff, behind the scene content, daily updates. You can get, you see all the steps, what it takes to build these cars. We have weekly topics. We have so much content now that in the last 3 years, Patreon has been running. I was talking about it for the guys the other day. I shared more than 540 posts, videos, and that's like literally in 3 years, that's like one video every other day. So now if you join Patreon, you get access to all of that, and then you can learn more than anywhere else on this planet. If somebody has a channel with more content focusing on sound quality and installation, the relation between location, application, tuning, I always keep saying that, then please direct me to that channel as well. I want to learn from other people. I want to be inspired. But if you're new or if you want to learn more, then definitely check out our Patreon channel, because now it's just insane. The amount of knowledge that we have over there is just crazy. So, get on to the video. Some of you remember that we had the Golf Mark IV that we had to rescue because it had a really poor installation, horrible wiring, and very, very poor sound in the car. So in 2 days we transformed that last time, and then you could see James' reaction at the end. That's going to be in the description as well. You can check out that video, or at the end of the video you will see the link to that previous video. Then you can see what we did previously in the car. Now it was time to take it to another level, and we knew that we wanted to push the car to more towards sound quality, because before he had a really good sounding system, a two-way system with a sub, and after we tuned it and set it up, it turned out amazing, to be fair. And on all the shows he goes to, people are amazed how that gear that he has in that car can sound so great. But of course, when it comes to like proper holographic imaging and staging, then the two-way is difficult to get to the level where you can have a dedicated three-way in a car. And now we turned his car into three-way. You will see from the video what we did. But we wanted to grab the occasion to, you know, show the importance of proper solid mid-bass installation, because that is going to be the next chapter for this car. That's what we are going to do in this car in the future, when we can find another time to do another chapter on it, and we will sort out the mid-bass where he won't have any buzzes and rattles anymore. So enjoy the upcoming little part with me, James and Eddie, and then we will see what everyone thinks about mid-bass in the doors.
Here we go. This is going to be a beautiful video from PS Sound. And no, you know what? We're gonna share it on YouTube if James allows us.
Of course, with pleasure.
Because to be fair, we shared a video before of your car.
Yeah,
so
freak it out.
Yeah, exactly. The guys could see your beautiful reactions when you were blowing up. Well, we were going crazy with your system at the time, and this was a fun system that now we wanted to take to another level. So you guys, you could see in the previous video that we had a simple layout, two-way active at the front with Hertz, Milli Legend, 6.5, and the 280 tweeter. Is it the 280, Eddie?
It is.
You had these,
Yes,
the 280.
lovely.
Eddie's with us. He's the cameraman now, and we have now new 6x9s at the back, but you also built now enclosures for the 6x9s. As before, you just had a bracket letting the 6x9s float at the back. I don't think you can see anything through that thing.
No.
Is it just a 6.5-inch circular grill there?
No, it's 6.5. Yeah.
Yeah, but behind there's
Not
space for a
6x9.
6x9. So now we have a small enclosure for them at the back, probably like 2 liter, tiny little shoe boxes. So the point of this video is going to be about why PS Sound and why so many people hate doors. And yes, there are few really rare occasions when some of the competitors can spend a fair amount of time to hunt down all the little buzzes and all the vibrations and rattles. But the bass is never as controlled, never as tight as when you have a rigid environment for the driver. Even when I was in the US, yes, there were some of the top scoring cars, top winning cars with mid-bass in the door, and then people say, yeah, but you see, those guys always win, and it's good enough then, right? Well, the reality is that it could be better. And they cannot, they can't argue with it.
No, definitely not.
They can't argue with it that it could be better, but it's good enough. If you get rid of the buzzes and you don't hear any buzz, then you're okay. If you have a front sub, then you can still get, slightly better result, that you can take the stress and the strain of the mid bass. You can cross them higher, and then the mid bass is the front sub gonna do the trick to have all that upfront punch in a car. But
I think you can show it, how high you have to cross in this.
Yes, we
car.
are going to do it now. That's the whole point of this video. We are going to play 2 songs, but only with the mid bass at the front and the back, 6x9s at the back. So we don't have equalizer on the drivers. The 6x9 has only a 350 Hertz low pass filter on it, as well as the mid bass, and the EQ is bypassed on the mid bass because we tuned the car, but we bypass the EQ. So we just, we compare the environment. We have to mention that doors were treated pretty well. The outer skin was fully covered with deadening. The inner skin was covered, as well as the door card. And there's not much more you can do. You can look at all the little joints on the door cards, but with the structure of the door, there's not much you can do other than deadening it. Maybe you put another layer on it. So there's always a track that I always tell to people to try. There you go. Now we can show it. Blue Monday, New Order.
I don't think I can see because
you have the flashlight on. Okay, but from New Order, Blue Monday is easy to find. It's a 2016 remastered version, and we use this track quite often because this has a really dry upper kick. It's not a punchy Baumandy, full body punch bass. It's a really dry kick, and most cars fail on it.
I think we had at some point a discussion on Patreon at what frequency is playing, and I think it's around 80, 100 in that area.
Yeah.
Or probably even higher.
That dry snap is between 80 and 120. Anything between 50, 80, that's where you get the body and the punch. Below 50, you get the rumble. But this track doesn't even have much playing at the low end. Yes, the sub, if it's crossed high, it can contribute to the overall kick. But now we are just looking at the mid bass, and you should be able to hear the vibrations and the rattles and how much more control the bass is with just the 6x9s at the back, because they are in a more rigid environment in boxes. They are not built to absolute perfection. They are James' DIY solution, right? And we found little issues with them yesterday, but at least we could fix it a bit. But it's already a huge difference between the two. Okay, so let's go to the beginning of the track. Let's play this thing, and first we will play the front doors. There you go.
I think it's muted from the head, isn't it?
It is. So I have to unmute now the front doors. There's plenty of vibration, plenty of flex. When you push the door card, you can reduce some of the flex, because then somehow the door becomes tighter. But the bass over is really uncontrolled. There's no feel of kick. It's just a lot of flap. So we go back to the beginning and then we swap. Back. Yes, they are quieter because they are on another amp. But straight away, you have feel. You have feel of that fast, snappy bass, and there's hardly any vibration. How is it at the back, Eddie?
I still hear buzzes, but I think they're coming from the front.
As well, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, but when you have that double tap kick, it's fast. As opposed to holy shit. So we were looking at it because originally now we tuned the system with an 80 Hertz crossover point, and even with that you have buzzes. So I know actually it went back to 130. Let's go put it back to 80. Yeah, so that's 80 Hertz, and there's a lot of flex, a lot of vibration. So we're looking at it, how far we have to push it. We kept going up in frequency. Now it's 90, 100, 110, okay, 120, like 130 Hertz at a time. Yeah, you still have buzzes. 150. By then, you just lose the whole point of having a 6.5 to do the kick bass in a car. Back to 80. Hang on. Oh, come on. It's just you just can't enjoy music. Of course, when the mid and the tweeter is playing in the car, then they kind of mask the noise. But when you have a part in a song, in any song, where there's not much information in the upper frequency range, then you will hear these buzzes, and that's just such a horrible thing. It just destroys the listening experience in a car. That's where home audio people say that there's no point to do anything in a car because everything is just buzzing and rattling. But of course there is a fix for this problem, and we'll talk about that in a second. I just want to show another song that I use quite a lot. Oh, that was horrible. So it's you won't see it. It's from
Let me see.
And Him. How many times was it that? Yeah, it's that one. It's quite punchy. This has more low end. Yes, tight kick as well as punch. It's a house music. That part between like 15 and 18 seconds. Let's go back. Yeah, 17 to 18. It's horrible. Let's go back. And then we go to the rear speakers. Swap. We have a bit of buzz there as well now. But it's still tighter than the front. There's plenty of buzz there now.
Yeah, there is something,
but we hang on. Not fair play now though, because the fronts had the 80 Hertz high pass filter on them. The rear has full range, like no filter on them at all. So for that, yeah, it's a bit ambitious to play full range all the way down in a 6x9 in a 2-liter box, which is less than 0.1 cubic foot. That's just yeah, a bit brutal.
we're still doing great, in my opinion, from back here compared to the doors.
Oh yeah, big time. Let's put it back. So now with the filter, just straight away.
Yeah.
And you really have a rhythmic, full driving energy in the kick bass. Yeah, if I swap it back. Oh, I have to be on the channel. Yeah, it's horrible. So, solutions to fix it. Many of you could see so many builds from us where we cut the floor when we go IB, when we mount on the wheel arch, when we build an enclosure in the kicks. It doesn't matter what you do, just make it resonant free. Like that's the key to any amazing sound quality system, because until you hear buzzes, you have lost energy. It's just, you know, it's never gonna make it. You will never have an experience like in a home audio high-end listening room, where, you know, speaker manufacturers try everything, all the fancy bracing systems like Bowers and Wilkins, or like if you search for Magical, a manufacturer in California, they have an aluminum frame, a brace frame inside of the enclosure, and then they build a shell around that to make the speaker as rigid as possible, so the only sound that you hear comes out of the driver and nothing else. You don't hear buzzes, you don't have, well, when you have a mid-bass in the door, it doesn't matter how much treatment you do to it, and maybe you get rid of all the buzzes, you don't hear buzzes, but it's not just the driver that's playing the wave, it's the whole door that's playing the wave. I can hear and I can feel that in so many cars. It's almost like, it feels like that the mid-bass just wraps around you, and that's where it's more difficult to create a sound quality competition level experience where, you know, you hear every single bass note right there from the top of the dash, even if your levels are right, even if your time alignment is right, but it's never so pinpoint accurate just having like a double bass, a stand-up bass playing on the top of your dashboard, because the whole door is playing. So that's where, if you can't do kicks, if you can't do on the seat, in front of the seat, if you can only do the door, even if it has acoustical challenges in the response, but building an enclosure will always give you better results overall. And I know there are a few people on the planet who say, no, these drivers are designed for a door, that's what the manufacturer designed it for, and it's always better like that. Not in my book. Not in my book. And those people who have listened to us build systems the way we build, they will never go back to the door. I haven't seen a single person who would say that, you know, no, Pete, you were wrong. I wanted to use door application because it was so much more amazing. I don't know where a door application can be better than a properly built sealed enclosure for the driver. Okay, fair enough. Not many people want to cut the door card up and then build an enclosure there, which may look pretty awful. Because in some cases it cannot look right. But in some cases it can. Some of you guys, if you haven't seen, roughly around 2 months ago, we shared our project in a Mazda 6, in a white Mazda 6, where we built enclosures for 6.5s. Focal flex 6.5s, which are not supposed to be amazing in a door enclosure, because
But they were.
they were amazing. Exactly. You look at the specs, high QTS, it should be in a door, it should have a lot of airspace, but how much airspace to play between 60 upwards, 60 to 150, where you have that proper punchy dry kick? You don't need bloody 2 cubic foot in a door for that. We had those enclosures and they were like 8.5 liters, so they were roughly like 0.30, no, were they more? Or 10? We measured them. I don't remember. It was mentioned in the video. It was probably roughly around 0.4 cubic foot enclosure, but that could be crossed at 50 Hertz and it was controlled, it was punchy, and you could still turn it up pretty loud, or if you wanted to go crazy like the owner wanted a preset where we crossed them at 80 Hertz, then they were so dry, slappy, and you could really turn them up. And they were doing so much output, clean output, that it was in comparison, to the previous installation he had when he had the mid-bass in the door. There was literally no controlled musical bass coming out of the drivers from the doors, as opposed to when we did the enclosures. And even when we just had the doors open and we were playing the system quietly in the background when we were doing other stuff in the workshop, even the owner went, hang on a second, I never heard that beautiful bass line, rhythmic musical bass line from my car. Suddenly the car just became transformed. Like another song I can show to you guys, I use quite a lot because it has quite a variable bass line, which is people mention or pronounce her name different ways. I
think the correct way is Shad.
Shade. I don't know, but No Ordinary Love. No Ordinary Love is a track that many people know, and this has a very variable bass line. So that's now with the rears. I think it's the front doors buzzing from the rears.
Yeah, it is.
It is. Swap. There you go. Oh, what am I doing? Oh no, sorry. I'm stupid. This is the front door playing. Now I'm feeling it. That's why we have the buzz. This is the front playing. Mute, back. You have a more playful, tighter bass. Back. Yeah, it's completely washed out, uncontrolled, wobbly, flappy, with a lot of buzz and rattle. So yes, now we use this occasion. We spent 2 days on James' car to put a new DSP amplifier in so we can run freeway. We changed out his standalone DSP. It was a Helix DSP 0.3. We swapped it out to an M4 DSP amp from Helix, which has 4 amplifier channels that runs the mid-range and the rear quarter panel 6x9s. And then we left the old layout, so we have the tweeter and the mid-bass running on the Audison Vulture 4-channel amp, because we can also tune that then in a way that they just run 2-way, door open, and they can play outside loud on a meeting. But this way we have now 3-way rear field sub in a very cost-effective way, having the M4 DSP amp. the point of this little chapter was to turn it into freeway. We build the custom pillars. We have the Brax ML3s, which are very sensitive, nice mid-range drivers. We could have had many other options. People could now say, why didn't we use a Hertz? Because you have Hertz mid-bass, Hertz tweeter. But that may also change in the future. But now we just wanted to use this occasion when we have time, because usually we don't have time. Usually we finish a car, I tune it, we finish the day at 6 o'clock, and then we have to leave, or I may stay late. Eddie, most of the times Eddie doesn't even hear the cars. How was it, Pete? Nah.
Yeah.
Nah. But this is the time when on a tuning session we can evaluate the system, and we also break it down to the customer what happens in the system. Because everyone wants the magic, but they don't understand why it's not happening until someone explains it and breaks it down properly. I had so many cars in the past where, you know, one crazy thing was in America where we had few cars with enormous drivers in the kicks and they didn't perform. They didn't have proper low end extension, what I can do with a 5.25 inch driver, and they had 8-9 inch drivers and they were not doing the low end. So it showed that the application wasn't done correctly, and that needs fixing before anything else can be done. So that's why we always emphasize, we have this beautiful saying, we have to have a t-shirt of location, application, tuning. These are the three things that really matter in sound quality, and not about, you know, how much money you spend on speakers, because now we could take your Hertz drivers out and the shop would talk you into buying Daisies.
Yeah.
Accuton.
Marketing bullshit.
Accuton, yeah, let's put Accuton in the door. It will be so amazing. We put LED lights around it and you will be...
Do exactly the same thing.
It would buzz and rattle just as much. So, cool. Probably we cut this video here. We just wanted to have this short little piece for you guys.
Short little 20 minutes.
Exactly. Eddie's hands are already burning,
Oh, yeah.
holding that foam. You see, we have to buy those smart glasses where you have a camera built in. I need one of those.
Yeah. Or you take your eyeballs out and you fit cameras. And
Well,
that's it.
that may happen one day too. Mr. Terminator. So hopefully learn something from this. Use the comment section and let us know what you experienced in your journey when you were locating mid-bass drivers to different locations, where, you know, some people would never think that it would work, and it can work when we have under-seat enclosures or bass drivers on the floor or anywhere else but the door, literally, unless you can build an enclosure for them. So I don't know. What do we title this video?
Chit chat.
Chit chat, shit mid-bass.
Yep.
How to get good mid-bass. Yeah. So sorry, James. You have a better system now. You have technically a more correct system with more eye-level staging, and he has nice mid-range now. But we have another chapter. We know.
Yes.
We've known it.
Oh yeah.
But at least now you learn from it. Everybody else
Most
can learn
definitely.
from it, and hopefully nobody's going to be told into some bullshit to buy more expensive speakers to get better mid-bass in a car, right? I
You
think
get better rattles.
better rattles.
Better quality rap.